8 months ago, I quit social media completely. And it changed my life in ways I didn't really expect. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits I experienced from leaving social media as well as the downsides. And in the end, I will tell you whether I ever plan on going back. Hands down, the biggest benefit I experienced from leaving social media was that I had way more time in my life. I mean, I spent hours upon hours every single day scrolling through my phone, just wasting time and doing nothing productive, essentially. And I always felt like I just didn't have enough time in my day to do all of the stuff I wanted to do. Back then I had a screen time of about 4 hours every single day, which is so much time. So obviously cutting social media out of my life just gave me back that time. And also kind of relieved a lot of the stress I had back then, because now I could just spend this time getting rid of all these to-dos I had. So in hindsight, this one benefit is reason enough to leave social media, in my opinion. Another thing I experienced was that my ability to focus on things improved. And I think that was for several reasons. First of all, when you're getting all these notifications, you're constantly distracted from the things you actually should do, like at work or at home when you're with your family. And you kind of constantly feel the urge to check your messages and what's new on social media. And that's so distracting. But even more than that, the main thing about social media is that it's so stimulating and basically triggering your dopamine system so much that everything else is kind of dull in comparison. So it becomes increasingly difficult to focus on the things that are less fun, less stimulating, because you're constantly thinking about, well, I could be scrolling now. And you probably do this subconsciously. You're reaching for your phone even though you don't really want to, but it happens because you're kind of addicted to that level of quick and easy stimulation. Another byproduct of leaving social media was, and that totally ties to what I just said, that suddenly things and activities I kind of had lost my interest in over the last years, even though I used to enjoy them a whole lot, became more interesting again, like reading a book, making music, doing sports. And I kind of think that's because now that I had left social media, I finally had the mental capacity to focus on these things again. And I also was not as overstimulated by all of this constant bombardment of reels and pictures, that I was finally able to recognize the beauty in these things again. And one more great benefit I experienced was just the peace of mind it gave me. Before having left social media, my mind was not only overstimulated all the time, but I feel like I was way more impatient. I got angry way more often and faster than I would nowadays. Also, I was spending so much time thinking about really unimportant things that I learned about on social media. And social media actually triggered a whole lot of bad feelings inside myself. Whether that was because of the way people behaved on social media, the comments, the reels, some things people say on there just got me irritated a whole lot. And all that obviously went away when I left social media, because I wasn't constantly bombarding myself with the bullshit many people put on the internet nowadays. Let's come to the downsides. Well, actually, there are not a whole lot of downsides I experienced from leaving social media. In the beginning, I kind of experienced some withdrawal symptoms. So the first days weren't easy at all. Like I was constantly reaching for my phone and then realizing, oh, I'm not on Instagram anymore. I don't watch TikTok anymore. What am I going to do now? And the lack of stimulation was kind of irritating, and I actively felt like my mind was craving it, but that got better very fast. The only downside I experienced in these last couple of months was that sometimes I wasn't as up to date with some things in other people's lives, or like in sports, for example, as I would have been if I would have stayed on social media. But I think that's all right. That's a good trade-off for having way more time and being able to focus again. And I actually had 1 or 2 occasions where someone sent me a link to an Instagram reel via WhatsApp and I couldn't open it. And I was like, sorry, I'm not on Instagram anymore. And then one friend actually made the effort to record the reel with his phone and then send it to me that way. That's about it. That's everything negative I can talk about here. So that brings me to the last question. Am I ever going back? Well, the short answer is no. Why should I? Right? And the slightly longer answer is Probably not. As I just described, the benefits I experienced from leaving it outweigh the downsides a lot, so I don't see why I should ever go back. And by the way, I don't want to condemn social media altogether, because I see that there are some benefits to it, but for me these benefits just aren't strong enough in comparison to the downsides I experienced from using social media. So to wrap this up, no, I'm never going to go back to social media, hopefully. I hope I stay strong. So if you ever happen to see an account of mine on social media, keep me accountable. If you plan on ditching social media completely, one thing that really helped me to do it was journaling. I actually made a video about this here. If you're interested in that, be free to watch it. Otherwise, I wish you a very nice day, and I hope to see you very soon. Goodbye.